Okay, something that I can't figure out is when people talk about timelines, shifting timelines. Yesterday I watched an old episode of Star Trek Voyager that had two members of the Q continuum, and they were mentioning the word timeline. Now, these Star Trek things were filmed, good God, a very long time ago, more than 20 years ago. And they were talking about timelines. A timeline is basically, well, if you throw a baseball towards home plate, it's going to end up either in the catcher's mitt or, bouncing off the bat or bouncing off the player, or it's going to miss all of them and it's going to end up at the backstop. But basically, there is what's known as a velocity going on with that baseball. So the timeline is basically the baseball's path. You throw it in one direction and you throw it towards the catcher. It's going that way until something else interferes with it. So with timelines, take me for example. I am walking down the garden path and my timeline was going to get me to cross that bridge and I was going to go back that way. But I got halfway across the bridge and I was talking, and then there were some people ahead of me and I didn't want to disturb them. I didn't want them to disturb me. So I stopped and I turned around and I came back the way that I came. So did my timeline change because those people were there? I don't know. I'm no expert on timelines. My intention was to keep going in that direction until I was interfered with by these people who just happened to be there, and I didn't want to, get involved with them. So my new timeline was to come back here, or was it always going to be that because they were going to be there in the first place? That's not a good example. Good examples of timelines are known as Mandela effects and matrix glitches. They're very hinky. It's when you and another person have different memories of the same event. Or you remember something and they don't remember the event at all. Sometimes you call that dementia. But sometimes it's Mandela effect or it's matrix glitches. I had a matrix glitch last week where, well, it doesn't matter. It was just, I know I did something. I know I did something because I checked on it later, much later, like a year later, and the thing that I had done was still done. I plugged something in. It was still plugged in. And about 10 days ago, I went to check on the thing, and the thing that was plugged in wasn't there. And the thing that I had plugged it into wasn't there either. That was a matrix glitch. Nobody went in and removed those two items. How do I know? I just know. And somebody else that I talked to about it remembered the event completely different and remembered me not plugging this thing in this particular place. That is a matrix glitch. In other words, we're on different timelines. How can that be? Well, you have to look at the many worlds interpretation of quantum physics that says every time you make a decision, one version of you makes if the decision is to turn right or to turn left, one version of you turns right, one version of you turns left. Each of them are on their own timeline, ? But that's basically the idea. And then, I don't know, there's all these extra dimensions. I don't know. I'm sorry I even broached the topic because I always say I'm an expert on these things. I don't know if there is anybody who's an expert on matrix glitches and timelines. how to exit the matrix. What is the matrix? Why is it that we see stage magic that is so good you go, how the hell did you do that? I've seen stage magic that just blew me away. But in my everyday life, I've seen things like these matrix glitches that are just as hinky. Anyways, that's your talk. I'm sorry I'm not very elucidation-minded today. I'm going to be Aloysius T. Cloxicle.